Welcome to Caching in the Northwest. This is the official podcast of GeoWoodstock 18 right here in the great Pacific Northwest. Each week, we're going to talk about caches and cachers from here and all around the globe. So while you're searching the garage for your tire chains, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
Well, and that must mean that it's time to bring in our celebration chimp. Some say his emotions are tied to geocache finds. And others say he becomes a grumpy monkey when he logs a DNF. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
And apparently he just decided to become grumpy and leave us.
Yeah.
Grumpy monkey.
You just what are you going to do with a grumpy monkey anyway?
I don't know. But tonight we are talking about the 20th anniversary celebration and GeoWoodstock 20 or GeoWoodstock 18.
There you go.
I want to say 2018. Just the dates changed, and I'm very conscious about the date right now. Just,
For all those checks that you no longer write?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, a quick reminder that we appreciate the support of our patrons who helps keep this podcast coming each and every week. And special thanks to Landsharks, our corporate Denali level sponsor. Don't forget, you can still get a free holiday trackable for every $25 spent at landsharks.ca. That's Landsharks with a Z.
Of course.
You can see their websites for details. If you want to know more about supporting the show, click the Patreon link on the CachingNW.com website.
That must mean it's time for a glow, isn't it?
Yes. You know what? We actually need a glow, don't we?
Tell us about the glow. That's the geocaching log of the week, as I recall it. Whether you found it, read it, wrote it, found it engraved in a stone tablet somewhere, whatever it is, we want to hear all about it. Because, as Chris of the Northwest has often said, great logs simply make geocaching better. You can send an email with said fantastic glow to feedback at cachingnw.com. You can give us a call at 253-693-TFTC. Read it in your very own voice, and you don't have to listen to me read it. Or head over to the cachingnw.com website, and there's a voicemail tool right there on the site that you can record it and send it to us.
We've given you so many ways.
I know.
There's no excuse. Hey, I do have to say we've gotten a good number of glows in the last couple of weeks, so thank you each and every one.
Wonderful. Well, speaking of contributions, this glow this week, Parkville Multi 5 Melbourne Trams. That's GC7FWZ5 for those of you following along at home. And it's from friend of the show, Subway Mark, who says it's find number 4,500. I had set out today to get this cache specifically since I am a big tram fan. Little did I know, the trek would take longer than I had planned. I took the tram from the CBD to here, found the first stage, then saw the final was not close by. Not being too familiar with Melbourne, I'm from the USA, I took the tram again a little further, then walked to a different tram line. I should have hopped on the nearby train. Then found the letterbox by the tram depot, hopped on a different tram, then walked to get to the final. It took a little bit to find, but I was so happy my trip was not in vain. As I was running behind schedule, I hopped on a bus, took it to the train, and rode the train back to the city. Note that I try to find every 00 cache with some sort of rail theme. This being a tram made it a plus. Thanks for the hide. So
nice.
Yeah.
Wow. That was quite the dissertation in public transportation.
Yeah, but if you know Subway Mark the way I know Subway Mark, he enjoyed it all the more because he got to ride multiple modes of trains. And yeah.
Hey, tonight's show. By the way, Land Monkey lost power.
Was that what happened?
That's what happened.
The Great Frozen Northwest. I wondered about that. Or the frozen North.
Frozen North. It's more frozen than normal tonight.
So he's out trying to start the generator?
I think so. Yeah,
okay.
Solar panels aren't working. They're frosted over.
Yeah.
And and the windmills are frozen solid. So
well, Christy's with us, so all of Canada.
And
there's plenty of Canadians in the chat.
We do have some great guests with us.
There you go.
Christy of the Geo Travelers.
Hey guys.
And we have Andy from HQ.
Hello.
Andy, I don't think I caught your geocaching name.
Oh, so it's later in the show.
Oh, well, I don't want to spoil anything.
I have a setup. I set it up ahead of time. It's coming.
Okay, no spoilers.
No, no spoilers.
If you want to know Andy's geocaching name, you have to stay throughout the entire show.
Right.
Yeah. Nice. So, guys, if you want to, those in the chat, if you want to jump in, ask any questions of registration and, GeoWoodstock registration and the 20th anniversary, use the hashtag REG, short for registration, because we don't want you to type all those many letters. Put that in the chat, and our chat lackey will help us tonight, because there are so many people in the chat, and you guys have great conversations. Sometimes it's even related to the show.
Yeah.
Of course, you can always use the hashtag FATAS if you want to bring up a topic for the after show. So let's see. Do we have, well,
you know what we have?
We have a monkey.
We have a monkey.
Yay.
In the dark.
Wow.
Welcome.
Mrs. Land Monkey is riding the pedal-powered generator as we speak, just to keep Land Monkey on the air.
The things she does for us.
I know, man.
All right.
Nice.
What did I miss?
You're nicely illuminated by candles, I see.
Yeah.
What
And
did I
we're
miss?
ready to go.
Everything. We covered it all. It's all
Show's
done, and we're in the after show, and we're
Excellent. Well, it's been fun talking to everybody. I hope you've all had a great night.
I think the chat was convinced that you finally got tired of the insulting intros and
Yeah.
checked out.
Not yet.
No?
Not yet.
Are you sure you're not the grumpy monkey?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, just as that came up, you disappeared. So
That's fantastic. So,
it was quite perfect timing.
where are we in the show?
We are at GeoWoodstock News.
We are, use
okay.
hashtag Reg. We just figured it in the chat, and jumping right into news, which you're up.
I'm up. All right. Well, we do have some GeoWoodstock news. Absolutely. We've got lots of news this week, guys. So first of all, reminder, registration is open for GeoWoodstock. We're going to talk a lot more about that tonight. But remember, if you are registering for VIP, VIP Plus One, or VIP Diamond before February 3rd, you will get a limited edition bonus GeoCoin that you can pick up at registration and then gloat. So remember that if you're planning to get VIP or VIP Plus One or VIP Diamond, try and get it before Feb 3 and get your bonus coin.
And share that coin on social media to all the people that didn't register in time.
That's right.
We'll talk about that in the after show.
Okay.
So other news, we are over 2,300 will attends for GeoWoodstock. I'll try not to steal too much of Christy's thunder from tonight, but but it's exciting. It's really exciting. I mean, that is a lot of people that I get to meet in August. I'm very excited about that. And the numbers keep ticking up. Our team, Christy will tell us more about it later, but we're working hard to finalize all the side events and the other geocaching and visitor activities that will be taking place from Tuesday through Saturday night. And reminder, the toques are still available for limited time, but when they're gone, they're gone. So if you want to get your hands on one of those cool GeoWoodstock toques, like Christy is showing off in the background there, you can go to geowoodstock.com/shop. Boy, Christy, you shouldn't let me do this anymore.
But it's your job.
It is I had one job. Yeah.
Just in case you wanted to know, apparently there was a car accident near Maple Ridge that caused the power outage. BC Hydro's on it.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Keats. That's on the wrong side of the river from me. So
Kev MacD has done his VIP and he is gloating.
Awesome. Way to go. All right. So that's our GeoWoodstock news of the week. Lots going on, lots happening, and I am just excited to talk to Andy and Christy tonight.
All right. And Wet Coaster is registered for both events already. So, as Chris mentioned, we have Andy from HQ and Christy from GeoWoodstock and Geo Travelers. We'd like to welcome you. And let's start with Andy. Can you tell us what you do at HQ and how did you come to be there?
happy to get into it. I manage our community team's content creators, our support team, and our visitor center. We create the content for Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We also contribute to the blog. Geocache of the Week is something that we get down on every week. Recently, we got into video production and answer all the support emails coming in from the community. I got to HQ because I was looking for a creative career that catered to my interests. I have a degree in German literature and linguistics.
That's good.
It's sehr gut.
Yeah.
Love traveling. I love the outdoors, and my username is Vandrulust because I like I have Vanderlust, and my name is Andrew.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh, I like that.
So, fortunately, Geocaching HQ gave me an opportunity to write creatively, use my German degree, because we all know Germans love the game of geocaching.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. And
Almost
I get
much.
they allow me to also talk about the world in an adventure perspective. I love that. But I knew about the business before Seattle. I geocached intermittently years before I moved here, and HQ's known in the area for caring about their employees and has a positive message. I really wanted to be a part of the positive message.
So you're being really serious, and then we had the message pop up from Kev MacD in the chat. You got to put that on screen. So, Andy, you probably don't have context for this.
Nope.
There was a German cacher who logged a cache, and we talked about his log on the show a little while ago. And I'm going to guess he used Google Translate for the English translation.
A flaw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Google Translate is good for the most part. There are some things that doesn't work on.
Yep. I totally understand now. Yeah. I don't know if I do or don't. That part, I'll keep that a secret.
That is personal information.
Yeah.
We won't pass that along.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Very good. So thank you, Andy. Thanks for being patient with that.
Bring us back on track, Len Monkey.
Here we go. We're going to come back on track with Christy. Christy, tell us a little bit about your role with GeoWoodstock 18.
So I'm, of course, one of the 4 organizers. So Chris and Helen, Jay, and myself. And it's been a real team effort up until this point. But
it's changing.
Oh, no.
What do I need to know?
up until this point.
Well, I mean, maybe you're going to leave again, Jay, if the power goes out.
We've gathered you here tonight, Jay, to have a little conference about this.
I was just going to say my sort of official title is operations manager. So that'll be what I'm sort of getting towards, is focusing on that stuff. But yeah, we've been busy beavers, just all pitching in, working hard.
Getting this damn thing done.
Yes, we are.
Wow. Now, I know it's been, not to mention a couple of months of busy, but the last few days have been, over and above normal busy for both GeoWoodstock and HQ. So before we dig into some of these questions, I'm curious, did you even get to enjoy the holidays? Was that allowed?
It's definitely allowed. I did manage to have a nice, quiet Christmas at home with the kids. And every year in Victoria, there's an annual Christmas Day event called Escape the Relatives. And every year I go, and my mom and my brother are cachers too, so I never get to escape my relatives. They are always there. And then on New Year's Eve, I hosted a last event of the year event at my house. So lots of people came out, even though it was absolutely pouring rain. It was gross.
It was a wet New Year's Eve, yeah.
Yeah.
Andy, what about you?
I got to sneak away to snowy upstate New York. I spent some time with my family. This year, though, my aunt and uncle told me they started geocaching on their own volition, and they've been sending me pictures ever since.
Nice.
I hope you all had a chance to relax, too.
I did. I had a very nice time with my family. What about you, Wits End?
I had a little bit of time off and a little bit of time working. Holidays are good to work though. Traffic's light and overtime is nice.
That's true.
So
And Monkey?
Line Monkey, yeah.
Did a fair bit of working, but also balanced that off. Had some time off. Did our family Christmas stuff a little earlier in the season, and spent some time up Vancouver Island where we love to be. And and then we're just with family in the rain on Christmas because
Yeah.
what we do in the Northwest.
That's
In the
right.
rain. Yep. A little rain doesn't stop us here.
A lot of
A
rain.
lot
doesn't
of rain
stop us.
apparently doesn't even stop us from going to an event.
Exactly.
A lot of rain could be worse. So it was a busy holiday season and a brand new start to a new year, and everybody's all wound up about 2020 and doing busy and getting all those things and back to work. And if you weren't careful, you might have missed that registration for the 20th anniversary celebration went live kind of on the QT. So Andy, maybe you could tell us a little bit about when it launched and how it's going so far.
Yeah, I'd love to get into it. Pre-sale packages are opened up. That came out last Friday, January 3rd. As of right now, we have over 3,500 will attends and 1,200 geocachers have reserved a spot to visit the HQ Visitor Center. The process leading up to this has been very fun so far. It's especially exciting to watch those numbers inflate over time. And it's also great sitting around a table conjuring up geocaching ideas of what we could offer at the event or for the geocachers. That's been very fun.
Nice. Now you do have to reserve a spot to visit HQ.
Yes.
And I believe it's a 50-minute chunk of time.
I believe it is a 25-minute chunk of time. So people,
I thought I
I'll-
looked earlier. Okay.
I'll verify. I have it all.
Visitor center. Oh, I looked at the pre one, and it's a 50-minute visit. Oh no, 50 minutes like in the morning. Oh, there are multiples.
There you go.
Yeah. Now I see 50
Multiple
minutes.
25 minutes.
Yeah.
2 of those would be 50 minutes.
Well, and then there's 25-minute.
Yes, and there's also on top of that, we're opening up Friday. We're going to bring the HQ cache down into the pavilion outside of Geocaching HQ, so that people who weren't able to make a reservation can still log the HQ cache.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Wow. The post HQ's events, so the 18th through the 21st, a lot of those are sold out. If you guys are looking to do this, you better look to do this now.
Oh my goodness, I think we're at 70 or 75% capacity. So
Wow.
yeah, you want to get those in.
Not surprising. I figured those would sell out in a week. Yeah.
They're going pretty quick.
Yeah. It's a great opportunity, right? If people can get that opportunity to get the tour there.
We're using the term sold out, but there's no cost involved.
Yeah, this is free. That's
Good point.
It is a great point. Don't worry about the cost. It's just we need to do some control, because if we have 10,000 people show up to our complex, I don't think the business is going to be very happy that owns it. Yeah, that would be a little much. I think the fire marshal might be upset.
A little awkward, yeah.
Yeah.
Could everybody just step once to the left?
Yeah.
So for those who haven't had a chance to check out your registration site yet, Andy, could you give us a quick overview of, from an event perspective, of what people might be expecting when they arrive in Seattle?
Yeah. For the event specifically, I would expect a big party at the Space Needle. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, and hopefully your friends are also in attendance. It's open to the public, so there will be plenty of non-geocachers walking around wondering what's going on. So if you see a very confused group of people, bring them on in, tell them what we're doing and what this is all about. I would expect a lot of food trucks. Rumor has it there's ice cream. There will be ice cream at the event. That's the secret tip. On stage entertainment and a large array of vendors, both geocaching and non-geocaching specific, as well as a beer garden in case you want to get your beer on.
Nice.
And I understand the beer garden is done with the Washington State Geocaching Association. Is that-
Yes, and it'll be up above. If you're planning to attend the event, it's on top of the Fisher Pavilion, so you can enjoy a nice brew and have a beautiful look out into the event and to Seattle.
Fantastic. And I think I think I understand now. You or Chris Brew can correct me because I know Chris is in the chat. The profits that are made from the beer garden go to support the WSGA. Is that right?
I believe so. I'm not 100% certain. So if someone can verify that.
How about MC3 Cats will be chiming in
There
momentarily?
you go.
Let's
We'll wait for that feedback. But yeah, I think that's awesome. And yeah, I mean, as Keith said, ice cream, yay!
Yes,
beer,
I just
yay.
Yeah.
I like that one. Yes.
Comakino has yet to visit HQ.
Time to
Oh.
correct that.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
time like the present.
Come on
You better
down.
go sign up now. I'm just saying, if you want
Yeah.
to visit.
Yeah, it's going to close quickly.
Don't wait.
Andy, are those tours any different than what you would get if we stop by during the week?
Oh, no.
Okay.
They'll be the same. We really needed to control the amount of people that were coming
Right.
to the area. So you're not missing out on like major opportunities here if you live around the area. If you've already been to HQ, there's always the HQ Geo Tour, and there's new geocaches that pop up around the area. So there will be something for everyone to do in case you've already visited.
Gotcha.
Well, it doesn't look too crowded behind you right now. Let's just all go down right now and knock on the door, and Andy will let us in.
Yeah. Yep. Come on down. I did mention I like working here, right?
Yeah.
Do you like unexpected guests? Large amounts of unexpected guests.
I mean, we have unexpected guests coming to the visitor center at least every
That's
single
good.
day. Yeah. All different backgrounds, cultures, areas. That's fun. That's really fun, especially if I get a German speaker and I can at least talk a little bit of German with somebody.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Nice. Okay, now I've lost where we are in the.
So
Um,
you're up, buddy.
okay, I figured it got quiet. Okay, so we had a little chance to talk about HQ. Now let's look at the GeoWoodstock event that's coming just a week later and a little more north. So, Christy, how has the registration gone for the GeoWoodstock event?
It has been going really well. We were bracing for 9 a.m. when it went live, hoping that the site wouldn't crash, and it ended up going smoothly. Just watch the numbers coming in. I agree with Andy. He was saying, it's fun watching the numbers of will attends rise. It's very fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And definitely the VIP early bird promotion seems like lots of people are smartly taking advantage of it. So, yeah, it's going great.
Love it. Love it.
Let's see. From the chat, Komakino asked, will we see preview pictures of the registration items? And I think he's referring to the headquarters 20th anniversary. And as somebody contributed, that's hq20.geocaching.com/shop, which looks like it's being copied into the chat as we speak.
How did you know?
I'm seismic.
Oh,
There you go. There it is.
Hey.
and that gives you an opportunity to go from there. You can get to the items you can purchase, the different packages, as well as those visitor center tours.
Awesome.
So Christy Komakino in the chat is also saying that he's curious about for GeoWoodstock as well.
So our products are still in the design stage, so nothing yet. Down the road, strong chance it's going to have our logo on it, if you can use your imagination.
Our
saying.
logo plus a little bit of other creativity that we're playing with.
I'm imagining that just as we speak. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
You're going to want it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
In fact,
yeah.
buy two.
Question here from Colleen. Christy, so if someone registers before Feb 3rd for VIP Diamond, will both cashers get the exclusive coin?
Absolutely, yes. Twice the reason to do it.
There you go.
Fabulous. Nice.
Nice. For those of you following along at the home game, I just went ahead and put the GeoWoodstock registration link in the chat.
Aren't you helpful?
Sometimes.
Don't tell people. I have a reputation to maintain.
Occasionally, yeah. Okay. I think they'll figure it out.
Okay.
So we've seen plenty of people posting about GeoWoodstock all over social media. It's been really exciting. I'm sure you guys are getting a lot of questions. Are there perhaps one or two very frequently asked questions that you get asked the most?
Certainly, our most asked question is, do I have to do the paid registration? No, you do not. You can just show up to GeoWoodstock for free, but you're not going to get anything except a fun time.
That's right. Lots of memories.
Very fun time. Meeting, thousands of your best geocaching friends.
And
Yes.
Anyway.
Maybe me. And probably the second most asked question is, we just covered it. What do the products look like?
Okay.
So, yeah, you'll have to wait. Trust our good taste.
There you
You've
go.
never let me down yet.
Yay.
So Andy, the same question for you guys planning the 20th anniversary celebration. What kinds of questions are you seeing?
We're also seeing questions in regards to our different pre-sale packages. Another one is if merch is available at the event without pre-ordering, and the answer is yes. But once those pre-sale packages are at the event, there will be a limited amount. So if you want to secure your package, get it ahead of time, and it's all yours. And of course, questions about the HQ cache being available. We want to make sure that it is available to as many people as possible, which is why Friday we're going to get it out there. This one, the most people will be around, and everyone can come in and get it then.
Perfect.
Nice. Now, this is for both guests. You can all play. It's an all skate.
It's an all skate.
Yay.
Love it.
How long will people have to register for these events, and should they do it right away? I've always been taught to start with ladies first. So, Christy?
Well, thank you, Chris. So we haven't set a hard deadline date yet in terms of when we're going to cut off registration, but it will likely be about 8 to 10 weeks prior to the event to give us time to calculate numbers and order the product. And as for should people do it right away, if you're going VIP, you want those bonus coins, yep, before February 3rd.
People love free stuff,
Mm-hmm.
bonus coins and all that. Yeah. Especially if you're going VIP, why not do it early? Get that out of the way so you don't, lose out. I'm sure there's a limited number of VIP sets, options, so get that. Make sure you get that. Andy, what about you?
Our packages are available up until July 15th.
Okay.
And if you don't register for one, you, of course, may purchase one at the event. But again, they are limited by supply at the event. So to answer your question, you should buy these early too. Just get it out of the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, if you're listening to our show and not driving a multi-ton vehicle, go ahead, go to those websites and register.
What if you're just driving a single-ton vehicle?
Or riding a horse.
Oh. Or bicycle, motorcycle. Yeah, if you're in a stationary location, go ahead and register. How's that?
Yes.
That seems fair.
Okay.
I have it. 2 tickets to that event you love. I'm on a horse.
I'd be impressed.
Yeah.
Yep.
So registration for GeoWoodstock, from what I can see, just seems to be for the event on August 22nd. That's GC 86 Victor Delta Foxtrot. Do people have to register for any of the other side events in Abbotsford? Because people are just going to be partying all week, I think, up there.
Pretty much.
Yep, everyone in Canada is coming to party in Abbotsford. But as for do people need to register for other side events? For most of them, no. Again, just log your will attend on the event page once they're published. They're not yet. And then there's one side event that we're still working on that will likely need another paid registration to go to. We're really excited about it, but it's just not ready to release details on yet.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm excited now.
Secrets. I like
This guy knows.
Hi.
And even if he doesn't, he'll say he does just to feel superior.
No, well, I will give a teaser that if you're planning to come up, make sure you're up well in advance of Friday night, because you're going to want to be here Friday night. That's all I'm going to say.
Interesting. Okay.
Insider
There you
information.
have it. And, I just let you know, the Brady Bunch, when they looked through all the different squares, that wasn't easy.
No.
Okay.
No, it's not. Because
No.
you always look the wrong way.
You always look the wrong way. So, Land Monkey's that way. Wits End is that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's not easy. It's backwards. Anyway, Andy.
Yeah.
Right down there.
Right down there. There he is.
Are there any side events, any extra events on the days leading up to the 20th anniversary celebration?
We don't have any side events planned leading up to the 20th anniversary celebration. We have the HQ visits available for people who want to stop and say hello. And as mentioned before, HQ will actually be closed Friday, so the pavilion. That's another reason why the pavilion will be open for people to come by. Who knows if other people are having events? We feared having 10,000 people show up outside. That was like, it just kept getting brought up as, yeah, that's a great idea, but there will be lots of people. We need to be careful about what we do.
Yeah. GSM times 2 has a really good question in the chat. He says, does the 20th anniversary event need people to volunteer? We all know that GeoWoodstock 18 needs volunteers and has a sign-up form available. Is there anything for the 20th anniversary event?
I believe the volunteer section has been sold out. Again, it's no one paid.
Filled up? Is that a better
it's all
term?
filled up. That's a better term.
That's
Let's use
awesome.
that.
Congrats.
Yeah, it's great to have people who are so passionate about the game that they also want to help out.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible that we actually sell out of positions to offer people.
That's amazing.
It says a lot about the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christy, Wet Coaster wants to know if VIP tickets get extra Nanaimo bars.
We were just discussing this yesterday as to how to communicate to the TradeX the desire that people are going to have for Nanaimo bars, and that they really need to get more than they think.
So,
Well, could I get an explanation of this? It seems pretty serious. Nanaimo bars?
so
Is
you
the
need to
most
take a look at
amazing.
our Instagram account.
Okay.
We posted a photo of a Nanaimo bar, but yeah, sorry, Christy, go on. It's most amazing. Yes.
It's multi-level confection.
It's truly Canadian and just an amazingly delicious dessert. It's got like a coconut chocolate layer, a custard layer, and then chocolate on top.
Okay, this is right up my alley.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. Yep, I'm seeing it.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
better than
I'm in.
poutine.
It's better than poutine.
Well, it's different than poutine.
It complements poutine.
Yes, I can attest to that because I was doing some test tasting recently.
Yeah, sure. Test tasting.
It's an important job that had to be done, and I was willing to make that sacrifice for the team. So
Thank you, Land Monkey.
you're welcome. All right. Where were we? Nanaimo bars. Yeah, that's where we were. All right. Awesome. And we're getting tons of great questions going on in the chat. And I see that Helen's in the chat answering a bunch of them, which is awesome. Thank you, Helen, for doing that. We'll try and talk to as much of this as we can as well. So those who are listening to the audio will also have the benefit of catching up on some of those questions. But in the meantime, Andy, there was something that I thought was really interesting about your event, and I hadn't seen it before discussed with any other geocaching events that I've gone to. And I thought it was really cool, and it felt very NorthWest. There's an entire section on your site about reduced waste. And I'm curious if this is something new for large geocaching events that's being promoted, and how exactly does it work? What does it mean?
Large geocaching events might not have adopted this exact initiative. We do have events that have a pseudo mentality, but this is more than that. We haven't seen other events do it to this extent. The idea here is we want to reduce as much waste as possible So it's woven into every single thing that we're doing. To be clear, it's not a zero waste initiative. That ended up being very difficult to achieve.
Yeah.
But we want to reduce plastic, general waste, and other byproducts that come from having a huge event of people. We're trying to take care of the ecosystem. We have a green mentality here at work, and we want to bring that out into the event as well. And if other events decide to take that on, that's great. We aren't necessarily saying that everyone should do this, but it is for a good cause, and it could really help out.
Leading by example.
That's great.
Nice.
And with the number of events I've worked in my life, I can tell you most events generate a lot of waste.
They do, and
Yeah.
with the amount of people coming up, we want to make sure we're taking care of that.
Yes. Well, thankfully, most geocachers that I know are a cut above in the area of not leaving a mess behind. So let's
Yeah,
hope
absolutely.
we set the bar high and they'll rise to meet our expectations. So it's going to be a great month. There's lots of events, the two big official events. Can either of these events, I'm going to throw it to both of you, expect some adventure lab caches? Because people love their adventure labs. Maybe at the event, near the event, any adventure labs in the general area of those?
There will definitely be adventure labs. We're already working with a team planning it. Going to have different unique themed adventure labs, making sure they don't overlap each other. It's something that we experienced down in Texas that we wanted to sort of just improve a little bit on. Adventure labs are always so much fun to do, so we really want to just build on the experience that people are going to enjoy in the area.
That's exciting.
It is.
How about
Need a break.
Oh, yes. We have a great group of local cachers and lackeys who are collaborating, and they are all very creative people. I am so excited to go around and find them because I find their lab caches at other events, or I find their actual caches. Goblin Dust is one that is responsible for something. I don't know what he's putting together, but he's just a mastermind when it comes to gadget caches. So I would expect some pretty cool stuff. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, I think Team Noltex has some in the works. Bounce.
Mhm.
There's some great stuff coming up.
Those are the three people I think of immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're the big players of
Yeah.
gadget caches out here.
The
Absolutely.
Gadget Cache Triad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So what other kinds? So maybe some folks are coming out, Andy, and they have a snuggle muggle coming with them. They have someone who will come along because their loved one really, really wants to go to Seattle to hang out with 10,000 weirdos. But while
Crazy.
they're there, they're like, okay, but I want to see something else in Seattle. What else is going to be going on at or near the event in Seattle Center?
Yeah. Outside of geocaching, Seattle is a very fun city. There are plenty of amazing restaurants representing many different cuisines or palates for any foodies out there. Insider tip, I don't think this is on the website, but there's an adult-sized playground right outside the Seattle Center with ropes. It's tall. It's very tall. And just saying, you could have a lot of fun out there, whether you're geocaching or not. Right around the Seattle Center, there's a couple museums. So you have the Glassblowing Museum, if you're familiar with Chihuly. And then there's also the Museum of Pop Culture. That has a rotating, rotating cast of things that come in through. Sometimes it's Prince themed, could be Beatles themed. Who knows what it'll be then? But you
And
can
there's
always
also
check
a little
online.
sci-fi themed area.
Yeah.
Sci-fi. That's what I said. Yeah.
Sci-fi, and of course the Space Needle's there if you want to catch a good view of the mountains. If it's really sunny and nice out, that's a
Mhm.
great view. Outside of that general area, though, there are indoor mini golf centers, pinball museums. The waterfront is very fun to go by, and you can pick up a couple caches along the way. Cary Park is one of the best views of Seattle. There's also a virtual there. That's up in Queen Anne. Gasworks Park is, in my opinion, a staple of Seattle. It's a great place to sit down, have a picnic, look around at the skyline of Seattle, and if Mount Rainier is out, you can see it from there. Discovery Park, though, if you want to have like kind of a hike within the city, like you don't want to drive 45 minutes to an hour to get into the mountains, Discovery Park's great for that. It's good to get some walking in. There's a number of caches there and beautiful views. Let's see, there's a lot. I also want to recommend looking at it's called The Stranger. If you're not familiar with The Stranger, it's a local Seattle newspaper, but they have an event schedule for more interesting or smaller local events. So like things that smaller bars might be hosting, but might still be very interesting to somebody. It could be art related, writing related, music related, really anything. And there's live music every night somewhere. So if you really like that, it'll be available.
Fantastic.
Nice. Yeah, Seattle, there's so much to do, and transportation around Seattle is actually really quite good.
Yes.
So.
If you get the One Bus Away app, it'll get you everywhere and anywhere.
That's a great app.
Mm-hmm.
I have that on my phone.
That sounds like a good pro tip. Sorry, that was the One Bus Away?
Yeah.
One bus away.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something good for us visitors to know about.
Yeah. I picked up that tip from IHAM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he uses that. So
yeah, and that shows you live updates of where the buses are when they're expected to be at that stop. So, if maybe you don't have to rush to finish that beer, you've got a few extra minutes because the bus is running just a little bit late. Or
they'll get you anywhere, but they sometimes are a little late.
Yeah,
and you'll know how late.
There you go. Gearhead says this lackey knows Seattle.
I appreciate it. I didn't even mention breweries, and I'm getting a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, the Transit app, City Mapper app, Move It app. There's several apps, but One Bus Away is also a good one. And as Komakino mentioned, Mariners, because who doesn't like to watch a local team lose baseball? I love going to games there.
Great
the
idea.
Mariners are out of town that.
Well, I was just going to say, I looked at the schedule. They are in town August 10, 11, 12 playing Houston, and then they hit the road. So if you're coming a little early, you could catch a Mariner game on Wednesday. That's a day game. They often do that midweek when they're ready to hit the road. So watch some baseball, and then do some geocaching.
It's a virtual right outside the stadium too.
There you go.
IHAM says the One Bus Away app tells me how long I have to bop my head with the CNW theme song before my bus arrives.
There you go.
Unless your power goes out partway through the theme song.
It just adds to the excitement.
Well, since we're jumping back and forth, it's time to look back at GeoWoodstock. And we mentioned that there are so many different registration levels. Can you tell us about these and maybe how they're different than previous GeoWoodstock events?
They're not too much different from previous events. We definitely took strong inspiration from the past couple years, kept the names the same, so it would be very straightforward to those that this isn't their first GeoWoodstock. We just tweaked the contents a little bit, and we did manage to actually bring the price of VIP levels down a little bit in comparison to previous, so we're pretty proud of that.
Yay! And it's in Canadian dollars. So if you're in the US, you may look at it and go, well, that doesn't seem any less expensive.
I'm not sure how many more times on the website we could have. Yeah, I'm not sure how many more times on the website we could have stated that it's in Canadian dollars, but we've tried to make it pretty clear.
Crystal clear.
Well, I mean, the event is in Canada. What else would it be in?
Exactly.
But yes, the exchange rate is very favorable to the U.S. right now. So
it is, absolutely. It usually is, actually. But
well, and that brings up a good point to our Canadian friends. Should we be bringing Canadian money with us?
Yes.
No matter what foreign country you plan to go to, you should always have some of the local currency. But all of your credit cards should work in Canada. But you are traveling to another country, so have a passport.
Yes,
and
plan ahead for that.
This isn't a different state; it is actually a different country. So do the appropriate planning. We've actually got some great pro tips on the geowoodstock.com website to that effect. So I think it's the Getting Here section. I can't remember which section it is, but definitely check that out.
I knew what the answer was. I was just making sure everybody heard it.
There you go.
Brylang says I can bring him money anytime.
Okay.
Oh, me too.
So, yeah. And it's Chris, all clear.
Yeah.
Gordon.
Well, and I appreciate all the happy birthday comments in the chat, but GeoWoodstock is happening very near Chris of the Northwest's birthday. So just saying.
Yeah,
There you
how
go.
about that?
Yeah.
And apparently Komakino has done the translation, and $202 in Canadian is $5.50 in US funds. So
I think that might be a bit of an exaggeration, but sure.
Facts shared by Komakino on the show.
That's right.
you may want to check your math on that. You probably didn't carry a 1 or something.
Hey, and another traveler tip, Kev MacD points out that power and electrical plugs and voltages are all the same for the US and Canada. So you don't need any travel adapters or things like that, like you might if you're traveling to Europe.
Good.
So.
Yes.
Yes. There's a lot of similarities, but there are some differences.
Yes.
And you check your cell phone plan.
Yes, good tip.
That's a really good tip, actually.
That making a call, getting a text, using data isn't going to bankrupt you.
Yeah.
There are some very affordable plans. I'll let you figure that out with your cell carrier.
Or just make a friend with a Canadian and go caching with them when you get
there. You go, and use their stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so we covered registration levels, I think, yes, for GeoWoodstock. How about the 20th anniversary celebration? Are there multiple registration levels there too?
Yeah, we have 3 tiers. We'll start with the silver package. That's $35. You get an official event t-shirt, a geocoin with a matching travel tag. Then there's the gold package, which is $45. It's everything in the silver package, plus celebrating 20 years trackable name tag. Platinum gets you gold and silver, plus event pin, patch, sticker, and celebrating 20 years carry bag. So it's a reusable bag that you can bring with you along your travels. That is $65.
Reduce waste.
You betcha.
And reuse. I love it.
So silver, gold, and platinum. So the guy that I bought the bronze package from at the street corner, who probably wasn't legit then.
Was his name Wandy? I might know him. Track him down.
Well, hey, buddy, you want to buy a registration?
That's right.
How come I bought the $100 titanium package?
You said you wouldn't tell.
Oh.
It's impervious.
Oh, we have covered a lot of information tonight about both of these great events right here in the Pacific Northwest. Where should our listeners go to find out more? I mean, so maybe they're driving and they didn't have the ability to write down the different package costs. Andy, where can they go to find out more about the 20th anniversary celebration event?
Of course, they can go to the cash event page. That's GC896PK. And then, of course, we have our website, which Wits End said it earlier, like I was watching a TV commercial with such great gusto. hq20.geocaching.com.
Go there now.
Yeah, go there now while you can.
Operators are standing by. This is a free call.
Yeah. Have you heard of our bronze package?
And Christy, what about GeoWoodstock?
So the website is www.geowoodstock.com. The event code is GC86 Victor Delta Foxtrot, or we've had a lot of people enjoying the Facebook GeoWoodstock community group. So you can find that online, ask questions, and start meeting your, 3,000 new best friends.
Yes. There is a lot of activity in that Facebook group.
Yeah.
It's great. It's so good that we've actually had to bring in a couple of volunteers to help us keep up with the feedback and the comments so that we can try.
You have to get your own Facebook lackeys.
Those are my people.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, that is, yeah. Speaking of, yeah, we'll also be announcing things on Facebook, Twitter. We'll have things on Instagram if you follow us on Instagram. All of the above. And if you have any questions, I want to point out for those of you who are not like directly in the area, we will be localizing most of the posts to the region. So if you have questions and you can't find them on the HQ 20 site, you can always write us at contact@geocaching.com, and my team will give you all the answers you're looking for.
Great.
Nice. Would you be able to pick us up at the train station and take us into? Oh wait, maybe I'll talk to you later.
All right. Yeah.
That's an off the air question.
That's right.
Oh, funny stuff.
Hey, to Andy and Christy, thank you so much for joining us. We have what we call the after show, which is a period, when the show has officially ended, but it gives us a chance just to chat. And, some of the questions that come up are maybe related to the show's topic. Others could be so far out of field that, we look at them and go, huh, okay. But you never know. And they're all good people. So in the after show is just a time to chat and catch up. And folks, we thank you for staying tuned to this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Now, 2 weeks out, in January 23rd, we are going to talk with Nick Hubbard about Cachly 6.0. That's a great show.
That's good. I'm looking forward to hearing all about that. And then after that, to wrap up January, we're going to have David Webb from Explore Magazine. And starting February, we're going to have GSM times 2, who's in the chat tonight, talking about boating safety.
Nice.
Indeed. We love talking about outdoor safety on our podcast.
We do indeed. Hey, before I know we're wrapping up, but I saw some really quick tips go by in the chat.
Okay.
And I want to throw them out before we got to the after show, because people in the chat are throwing out that. Be aware that Canada has kilometers per hour speed limits, and they don't have Uber.
Not yet. We're
transportation things to be aware of. KPH on the speed limit sign is not the same as MPH that you just crossed the border from Washington.
That's
There you
right.
go.
I can get around so much faster.
I know. I love it when I see three-digit speed limits, but it's not the same thing.
Oh,
Okay.
bummer.
Sorry, Len Monkey. Please continue.
Oh, I was just saying, it's okay. You can pretend it's the same thing as long as you don't exceed it.
You can. You talked about bringing money up to Canada. You will leave some money behind in Canada.
You may leave your car behind.
Thank you for your generous support of our northern neighbors.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. Well, before we move on to anything else, it is the opportunity for us to thank our corporate Denali level sponsor, that is the Land Sharks. We want to thank them for their support of this podcast and remind you that landsharks.ca is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. Check them out online or go in person to visit their store in Victoria, British Columbia. Open 6 days a week except holidays, and they ship online orders daily. All right. And we also want to thank all of our faithful Denali level supporters. That's Land Sharks, JP's Geo Designs, Limax, Team Squirrel, and worldcaching.com. And folks, if you want to know more about supporting this show, click the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com, a website.
And of course, as we do each and every show, we want to thank our Patreon supporters like Trexer Zero,
Kev MacD,
Wet Coaster, and Greenwords,
GeoNav Pros,
Keats 94.
Unteus,
the Geo Travelers.
Yay. Boomer 365.
Genies,
D Trombone 15,
Sege Hove.
the Seebeck Tribe,
B Pendragon,
GSM times 2.
Kitty Quest,
Team Noltex,
Camp Clan.
Dune Buddy,
Kid Vegas 19,
Sprouter.
Alarobrick,
CRS 98,
Hacker Duck.
Subway Mark.
Dora Moore,
Winos Seattle.
Hey, I saw him in the chat. Highlands guy.
I saw him in the chat. Kennel Barb,
M Nerve.
MC3 Cats,
T Sayer,
Broncos fan for life.
and Billy Robson.
Awesome. Well, hey, until next week, let's throw out to our guests. You've mentioned email addresses, what's the web addresses, social media handles, but just one last time, if people want to get in touch with you guys, how would you like them to do that? Christy?
So for contacting GeoWoodstock, the email address is geowoodstock18@gmail.com.
All right. And Andy?
You could always contact us at contact@geocaching.com for 2020 celebration related questions or just in general. Aside from that, if you follow us on any social media account and you see something that you'd like to, you have a question that you'd like to ask, feel free to ask us and we'll respond to you on social media as well. If it is tech related, though, we will try to bring it back to email. So any tech related, like if the website's not working or you might have registered and it's not working, please email us, contact@geocaching.com.
Great tip. And you guys are always so responsive. It's wonderful. Land Monkey, where can I find you?
Right here.
Oh,
I'm on the other side of Chris.
I can't see you through Chris.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have that
Wait,
problem.
Chris, just line your ears up.
My head just right. So
Yeah, there you are.
Chris
Okay.
Duck. Yeah. All right, there we go. I'm over here, Jim. You know what? Actually, before I tell you where you can find me, just a follow up to like what Andy was saying for GeoWoodstock. Our social media is at GeoWoodstock18. So similar to the email address Christy was sharing. Just follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We'd love to have you follow our accounts. We're always showing all kinds of great photos and video clips and everything of the Abbotsford and Fraser Valley area. So you can get a real good sense of what's up here and where you can come exploring. So definitely follow us, follow GeoWoodstock at GeoWoodstock18. And as for me, the Land Monkey, it's landmonkey landmonkey.ca. Is the website, and you can find all kinds of current stuff there. And of course, my Instagram and Twitter is at LandMonkeyGC. And on YouTube, still working on trying to get some new content out there. Been a little busy since the holidays, trying to help the team get the registration going and everything. So my personal video stuff is taking a backseat, as well as my book project has taken a lot of time lately. So the videos are coming. They're being worked on in the background, but lots going on. Always a few irons in the fire up here. But Wits End, how about you, my friend?
I rarely post or contribute stuff to YouTube or the social media accounts, but I'm out there on most of them. Just look for Wits End. Most social media platforms, spelled a little different on some. Thanks, Instagram. If you know who has the Wits End handle on Instagram, convince them to give it up to me. Otherwise, shoot me a message. I always like hearing from everybody. Chris of the Northwest, how about you?
Oh, on Twitter and Facebook, I'm Caching NW. On Instagram, thanks Instagram, I'm Caching in the Northwest. You know what? Head on over to cachingnw.com/hosts, and there you can find all those links that we just mentioned and a few secret ones we don't tell anybody about. But most of all, we want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Don't forget that you driving the car, that multi-ton vehicle, you can be part of the show. Call in 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask us a question, or buy us a beer any time of the day or night. Of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingnw.com. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like the show, click the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website. And subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and more. Give us a thumbs up or even a review. Those things do help.
Yeah.
The show's produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jim Paulwitz, and Jay Kennedy. It's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2020 by Chris Umfenauer. And folks, we ask you to stay tuned for
the after show.
The after show.
So dramatic.
Isn't it, though?
Gets me every time.
Yeah. Whew.
It's so easy.
Well,
yep. Jump in.
Happy birthday, Wits End. His birthday was yesterday.
It was.
Sorry,
yesterday.
we didn't have a show for your birthday. We probably should have.
I was busy, but thank you.
What were you busy doing?
We started our rehearsals practices. First one of the year last year. Come out and follow us at nznseattle.com.
Awesome. So and you're going to be performing in a competition in March.
I'm going to be traveling to Canada in March and August. How about that?
Ooh, yeah, there you go.
I'll be right there in Seattle Center Memorial Day typically. So yeah, we perform throughout the year around the area. So check us out there.
Very
Nice.
cool.
Well, they mentioned before that there is no Uber in Canada, and maybe it'll be there by 2022. Until then, maybe you want to check out Highlands Guy. Apparently, if you need to go see one of his caches, he'll meet you and drive you around. So that's always an option.
There's definitely precedent set. I know that.
Either that or bring a spare tire.
Aha.
Oh,
There you go.
He's done that recently.
Yes, we've heard about that.
Highlands Guy. He's so prolific.
It's just a good guy.
Yeah.
He is.
Oh, and he says anytime in the chat.
Okay, there you go.
The offer stands.
Yeah. So when you get 10,000 of our geocaching friends in Canada, Highlands Guy, you might be a little busy. So if you're waiting for him, just be patient. Sit down. He'll get.
You can only fit so many in the car at once.
Oh, happens live in the chat. I'm friends with Christy Seymour just while we're speaking. How about that?
Ooh.
Just never know what's going to happen.
Andy, we have unabashedly stole the term lackey from each. I know.
The shock. Look at the look of shock.
I know.
We didn't provide T-shirts though, like you've got. So
Wow.
This is
But-
a vintage T-shirt. I stole it.
But it's only for one person. We have a chat lackey
Okay, all right.
because you probably have noticed how active the chat is. And as we're going through the show, it's often hard for us to keep track of where things go because, after, 10 messages, they scroll off the screen and it's impossible to find. So we needed to bring in a chat lackey to help us.
I'm not offended.
Okay. Whew. I saw your eyebrows raised when we mentioned the term lackey, and I thought I had to explain that to you.
I was having bad memories of Brian yelling at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that sounds like a story we want to hear.
I'm just kidding. Brian Roth is too nice to yell at.
Oh, that's too funny. Yeah, our we did borrow the term lackey, but I don't know how we would keep up without our chat lackey. And the reason we have to have a chat lackey is because we have an amazing live viewership who every week you guys are in here and you're asking great questions, you're making funny comments. You just make the show worth doing every week. So thank you to everybody who's participating.
Yeah. Even though we can't hear your voice, we see your participation, and really it makes this show so much more of a conversation. It's like we're sitting in a coffee shop just chatting. So thank you so much.
Or a brew pub.
Or a brew pub. Or at a bus stop.
bopping your head.
No, because then you have your headphones in, bopping your head.
Yeah. Where else do people meet these days? At large convention centers. Under the
Space Needle. Yeah.
Yep, Space Needle is common location for strong friendships, new friendships.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
In the bushes, according to that GIF video.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
That was a pretty good one. Yeah.
And apparently you have to spread mud on your face.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys do that up in Canada, but
Kev MacD, I have the perfect face for chat.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, Wits End and I have said for years we have a face for radio.
mm,
But bump. There you go. Udak wanted to know how loud Brian Roth yells, but apparently nobody knows yet.
this rumors out. No, he's nobody yells here. Yeah,
Everybody's too happy.
he is. He'll, like, I might like step on his toe, and he'll look at me and be like, "How is your day going? I haven't talked to you all day." Great, Brian. I'm so sorry for breaking your toe, but he's a hard guy to upset.
He's a nice guy. I
That's
think I've interviewed him. Nice guy.
Yeah. We've talked to Brian several times on the show. just because geocaching.com keeps winning year after year one of the best places to work, not only in Washington, but around the country.
Yeah, it's one of the things that drew me to this place. And like I said, I really, really wanted to try to get in on this opportunity. And since I've been working here, it continues to get better and better year over year. Yeah, great group of people.
Nice.
Very cool.
Now, Andy, did you know about geocaching before the job?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
In upstate New York, we have the Adirondacks,
Mhm.
and there a couple of buddies and I like to hike. We'd go up there. They were all about putting Pokemon cards in geocaches. That was their thing.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's how I was introduced to it. And then, yeah, I knew that it was in Seattle, and I had intended on visiting and checking it out myself. And then I looked at the job board first, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
German? They need German support.
Yes, they do.
No
Yes.
way. Yeah.
I have a cunning plan, he said.
Yes, absolutely. So my wife has some friends in Corning. I'm not sure where that is.
Oh,
There's the
Corning,
Finger
yeah.
Lakes, but it's upstate New York somewhere.
Yep, that's Rochester area.
Yeah.
Western New York. They have a great. They also have a museum of glass there.
Mhm.
Corning Museum.
They would, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Andy, I was going to say, in Canada, we put hockey cards in the geocaches. And if you think I'm joking, you just start randomly. Oh, somebody's looking through the window there. Oh, they moved on.
Somebody walked by.
Somebody walked by and they paused, took a look back. And then they
It's kind of like a Bigfoot sighting. We're not really sure we saw it.
the arms are
We're in the
moving.
Pacific Northwest.
That's right.
And we only got blurry video, but we're pretty sure that was Bigfoot.
There you go at HQ.
Someone call the press. Tons of hockey cards. Yeah. There
There
you
you go. Oh, DSM times 2 says it's Rock Chalk wondering why he wasn't on the show.
go. Yeah, I rubbed it in his face earlier today. I said, I've been doing this podcast and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's right. You've been on the podcast more than he has in 2020.
That's right.
An accolade, a milestone.
That's right. It's a new
I
year.
don't think I'll get him on anything else.
New year, new lucky.
You won't get him on any caching stats, that's for sure.
Nope, not in my lifetime.
At one point I was ahead of him in the Cash Carnival, but
How
Then
long
he
did
went
that
out
last?
caching.
yeah, I don't think it lasted long. But I took a screenshot.
He'll sneak up on you.
Yeah,
You'll think you're ahead, and then all of a sudden,
Land Monkey's the same way. I'm used to it.
yeah.
Oh, too funny. What else have we got in the chat?
Oh, well, Kev MacD says Fatas book project. And I assume that's for the monkey.
That I'm assuming that's what that is, and working off of that assumption, yes, I have a book project. I have a book that is very, very nearly ready to publish. My patrons on Patreon have already got a pre-release edition that they've been able to take a look at and use to start planning their trip. The book is the geocaching guidebook to Metro Vancouver and the Fraser Valley. So if you're thinking of coming up here, it's filled with great tips for traveling and commuting and getting around, but it also has a little bit of history of the area. It has a ton of information. There's over 100 geocaches profiled. Most of them have a little bit of tips from me about experience on how to get them and what to know when you're looking for them. Grouped into a whole bunch of different sections. And there's also some sections at the tail part of the book about making day trips to places like Vancouver Island, Gold Country, up into the Okanagan if you're after some of the geo art there. So you can pre-order the book off of my website, landmonkey.ca.
Highlands Guy already has.
Yeah.
Thanks, Highland Sky. And that's I'm excited to get it finished. The content's all done. I'm just working with some editors to and designers to just get the finishing touches on it.
Well, it's exciting. We'll have to have Mrs. Land Monkey on the podcast to talk about it.
She loves talking about the stuff that I'm doing instead of working. Yeah.
And sometimes she doesn't even know the things you say.
Or sing. Yes.
Or singing.
Yeah. He did what? No. Sorry, Mrs. Land Monkey.
It was a Google translation issue.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It was-
Okay, I'm going to just use that from now on, Andy. Thank you.
Translate from Canadian.
Oh, nice. And the last FATAS I see here is from Keats94 that he won a toque for being the first to register.
Very nice.
How about that?
Congrats, Keats. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it over across the pond to Vancouver this weekend for him.
Oh,
Oh,
personal delivery.
wow. He won it and it's delivered.
Doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty skookum.
It is skookum.
It
That's
is.
also a word you will definitely hear in this part of the world.
Scoop them, huh? Yeah,
I-
okay, can I get some context?
You've learned everything I know, Andy.
Yeah.
I've been caching with Land Monkey for I don't know how long, and I was up in BC, and they use that term, and I go, "What does that mean?"
It's like amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Skookum.
Skookum.
Ah, okay.
Well, yeah, pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So yeah, often, you going for a hike? Yeah, you're gonna do that trail. Oh, did you see that big old tree along there? Yeah, that's a skookum tree.
It's
Yeah.
a skookum tree.
Yeah, it's
Skookum.
something that's impressive.
It's a skookum toque.
Mhm.
It is a skookum too,
Mhm.
and we have a skookum bear who does
Yep.
reviewing up here.
Yep. That's that. Now I know.
Yeah, now you know.
Let
Yeah,
me in.
There you go. So Kev MacD says it's a First Nations word for big. There you go.
Ah.
So we use it for loosely translated as impressive as well,
Yeah.
because big is impressive. And I'm just going to leave that there.
Oh,
Awkward silence. Insert it here. Yeah.
And on that bombshell.
is the Chinook Wawa for strong?
Ah, okay.
There you go. Thank you very much, Keats. So our research department's hard at it again.
The definition is on the Skookum Bear profile, of course.
Of course it is.
But they also say things like hoser and take off.
We do. And if you want, I can say it to you in person when you come up here for GeoWoodstock.
And they overuse the first letter of the alphabet. But other than that, they're pretty normal.
What do you mean, eh?
Yes, that's the letter he's talking about.
Oh, yeah. Hey, folks, thanks for joining us tonight. We hope you had a great time. You need to come out to these two massive events this summer out here in the
events.
Northwest. They're skookum.
There's skookum.
And until next week, get out and get catching in the Northwest.